Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I hope you all are doing well. I am sorry I haven't posted for the past 2 weeks as I was kind of busy. As an apology, I will make another video either later on today or maybe tomorrow. Now, moving on towards our video. Today's category is history and our topic is ancient civilizations. Today's ancient civilization is Mesopotamia. This is a Pakistan national curriculum, but regardless of what country you're from, anyone can learn from it. Now, the introduction. Many ancient civilizations have sculpted the world of today. They have taught us about farming and agriculture, law, literacy, math, and much, much more. There is still so much that is undiscovered about these people who lived thousands and thousands of years ago. Come with me as I take you through a series that will somewhat, hopefully, enlighten and increase your knowledge about the past. The beginnings of Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia covered up most of what is now modern-day Iraq. It rested between two rivers, and these rivers were very important because without fresh water, agriculture could not thrive, thus leading in the decrease of human population. Notice that I put emphasis on fresh because barely any plants or no plants at all grow in salty water. The rivers were the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. Mesopotamia dates back as early as 6000 BCE, almost 4000 years ago. Due to its rich and fertile soil, it was the perfect area for livestock to thrive. In addition, the climate was perfect and the rivers allowed for fish to be caught as goods or food, thus leading to Mesopotamia being inhabited for about 12,000 years. Mesopotamia was also called by Talias's the cradle of civilization and the Fertile Crescent. Farming and agriculture. As I said before, Mesopotamia had access to two rivers, which meant that its land was extremely fertile. Thus, they were blessed with many crops and they could use in surplus. The main crops used for growing were barley and wheat. However, the smart thinking of the people of Sumer, a city in Mesopotamia, in which they could use date palms to shade their yield. Due to this, they could grow peas, beans, and other lentils, as well as large assortments of vegetables and fruit. The products they could make out of these ingredients include wine, bread, possibly a mixture of vegetables and soup, and meat from livestock, and fruits, dry fruits. In all, it shows that Mesopotamians had a very healthy diet. They also learned to tame and domesticate wild animals such as bulls, cows, goats, sheep, etc. They could then make leather clothing and other variety of things such as tent shelters, storage, milk, and whatnot. They also used oxen to pull the heavy plows, making it possible for softer soil to grow food. Inventions. The Mesopotamians are famous for a number of inventions, many of them playing an important role in today's world. They created the base 60 number system, giving path to the idea of 60 seconds in 1 minute, 60 minutes in 1 hour, and the 360-degree angle. They were also the first people to use writing, as it was first created for keeping track of taxes and trades. It then evolved into a vast letter system called cuneiform, being the base of many languages. They created the cylindrical stones used for keeping identity when making a contract. Mesopotamians used one of the earliest, if not the earliest, use of law also. The person who invented this law was King Hammurabi during his reign of 1700 BC, with the famous saying, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, basically saying whatever bad you will do will be returned back to you as a punishment. Unfortunately, the rich were eased of the punishment, making society unfair. They created the calendar based on their gods, naming all 12 months after the most visible prominent constellations in the heavens. They named the 7 days of the week after the 7 planets they saw in the solar system. And they also created the wheel, a revolutionary invention used for traveling today. And their buildings and architecture was one of the best. one of them being the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the wonders of the world. I would like to state more, but time won't allow. Cities and kingdoms. Some major cities of Mesopotamia consisted of Nineveh, Ashur, Nimrud, Akkad, Babylon, Uruk, and Ur. At a certain period in the time, all the cities were united into one, the Akkadian Empire. However, it broke up to form the famous Assyrian and Babylonian empires. Please forgive me if I have stated any of these names wrong. The fall of Mesopotamia. The arrogance and ignorance of the Mesopotamian rulers and the people led to their demise. Blinded by their wealth and their accomplishments, they thought as the other empires and kingdoms as inferior. All was going well until Cyrus the Great of Persia, a great leader who expanded the Persian Empire, conquered Mesopotamia, taking it under its rule. The remaining years of Mesopotamia were no great either, as they lost their territory until they had completely faded and had become a fragment of history. There is still much more we need to learn about Mesopotamia, digging its remains out of Iraq, Syria, and Kuwait. That's it for today, guys. I hope you learned something and found it helpful for your class or your personal project. A huge thanks and most of my credit goes to National Geographic, Encyclopedia, and the World History Encyclopedia. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.